Good morning, Jim.
Morning, everybody. We're Motorhome Rehab Branch, I think, and this is a big day. Heading home. Got about 8 hours to drive.
At least.
Yeah. Well, this is the final one on the timing chain and the water pump, and we got it in. And Mark, why don't you just talk about from the last time we talked what we did? Remember, we did the cleaning of that bolt, got that thing talked
Okay,
about.
well, we successfully completed the assembly of the engine. We had an issue with the power steering brackets, and I did want to bring attention to that because simply the bracket that the bolt that goes in the differential bracket, we had an issue. We found that there was a washer that had gotten put on the stud that holds the timing marker in. And even when we removed that, we still had some issues. But you have a bolt that goes into the front of the header, and then you have the differential mount, and then the two studs up front. It is imperative that you really pay attention to the location of these, so that can be a more smooth operation, I'll say.
Probably happened when they put the headers in, maybe.
I'm not going to speculate on any of that. That's just one of the few that I have come across, and not just because it was a 73. It's been apart before, and things get manipulated and moved around, and a quarter of an inch can cost you a day's extra work.
50 years of good intentions.
Good intentions all the way.
But
we had a fabulous test drive yesterday. We had to obviously back the distributor timing down because in advancing the camshaft, we advanced the timing to the point JayGee just didn't want to start for us. So Jim kept backing her down, and she has tremendous vacuum and ran quite well going down the interstate. I'm pleased that and believe he'll have a safe trip.
We had about 19 and a half inches of vacuum at idle. When I first fired it up, we had over 22 inches, and it was laboring to start. So if you ever have a problem with it, take your distributor and back it off. In other words, counterclockwise just a little bit until it fires. You can get it right on that lunatic fringe where it'll fire easy,
right,
and your vacuum as high as possible. Now the C5Tech doesn't. It will set your idle. Okay, so no matter what you do with the timing, but it does not set the timing. So you watch your vacuum gauge, and you get your timing where your vacuum's about 18, 19 inches, and the FiTech will adjust your idle.
That's true.
So if you had a carburetor, as you back the timing off, the idle goes down. So you back the timing off till your idle comes down to about 950, but we already had it set at about 950.
Right. So
getting the timing set up in the middle, now the FiTech can take over, and that's what we had to do. I was surprised on how much I retarded the thing. I like to advance them because that's where your performance is. But I think this is going to be where it needs to be. And when you do a timing chain and a water pump, and you see now you saw that you don't have to get into top dead center and where things are and 180 out and all that. Just leave the distributor where it is. Set your marks up where they're lined up. Take your timing chain off. Put the timing chain back on. Don't get involved in all that other stuff. Now, if you're building the motor, if it's a fresh motor, you're going to have to know where all that stuff is because it didn't run before. But if what you're doing is getting the timing chain or your water pump, and listen, if your water pump does start leaking like ours did, and if the coach has been sitting around for a couple of years, it will leak. And so it makes it more cost effective to do the chain when the water pump takes a dump. So, kill both birds with one stone. And also, the cleaning of it was real helpful. We didn't get too greasy.
Right.
But behind the cross member, it looks like a chocolate mess back there.
It does.
And so I'm going to probably end up cleaning some of that and seeing where some of that comes from. This is an original coach. This is unrestored, and we're dealing with what 50 years has given to it. And that's what you're going to probably have to do. The only other way to do that is just put a new chassis under it, and that is coming. The older they get, that's what it's going to take.
Jim, I'd like to take a minute and just recap this last couple of months.
Yeah.
When Jim first called me and gave me a hint about what he had in, I would say, in plans for our future there. I had no idea that it was going to take us across the country and back, but I wouldn't have traded anything for the adventure that we had, and I want to just say thank you for the invite. And we achieved our goal, and Jim's now going home. So over the last couple of months, it's been a real hoot. I gotta say.
It really has.
And I had to introduce Jim to Southern Heritage, and changed his comments and his language a little bit. I hope they'll know him when he goes home. He got an Alabama haircut.
I'm all set, gentlemen. Let me tell you, Florida may not be able to handle me when I get back. But, listen, thank you for following all this. I know that maybe some of you wanted a bit more technical, but to be honest with you, it ain't that technical. It's just getting greasy and taking it out and putting it back in.
That's right. We might want to put a shout out for AYL for all their assistance.
At Your Leisure sponsored us to do this. Chad and those boys there. Go to ayltv.com on YouTube. There'll be some produced videos of the stuff that I threw out. That's kind of like fodder. But when you get an editor in there and a producer and they set this thing up and you really get to see, I can't wait to see what they come up with all that video that we...
A real professional job.
I can't wait to see that. And that's where we want to go with this stuff. We want to give you the information that if you're interested in one of these things, you can get her done. While I've been gone, I've had so many people working on their coaches and calling me. I really appreciate you calling. Don't email me, or if you're going to text me, say, can I talk for a minute? And then call me, because it works out better for me. It makes me feel better that people are out there and I can solve problems right away where you don't have to wait or an extra day or something like that. And that's what Motorhome Rehab Ranch is here for. That's what I found that I can do. And bringing Mark into this thing, we're going to be able to do a lot of things that you want to see and answer a lot of questions and bring this motorhome along with us. So thank you, and we'll see you in Orlando.
Have safe travels, Jim.
You got it, bro.
All right.
Okay.